Awesome, thank you. Broadly speaking, there are three mega trends that are shaping the infrastructure industry. One is around the influx of capital funds. We are going to see north of $1 trillion pumped into the US economy through Infrastructure Jobs Act, IRA. A bulk of this funding is going to come into our region. So that funding is driving a lot of infrastructure growth, not just in the whole country, but our region in specific. The other mega trend that we are seeing is around shortage of skilled workforce to deliver capital programs. A combination of low intake into programs that feed the infrastructure industry, as well as retiring workforce is driving that trend. And the combination of these two mega trends is driving the third trend, which is around digital transformation. So a lot of good things happening from a digital transformation standpoint, and I am fortunate to have a panel here that is comprised of leaders in this space who are doing and driving this change in the industry. So without taking much time, let's just get started, and maybe we'll start with you, Manny. If you can please give a quick introduction, your role in the organization, and what is the most exciting part about your role?
Good morning. Can you hear me? Good?
Close it.
Good. I'm Manny Innamorato. I'm the Chief Information... No? I'm Manny Innamorato. I'm the Chief Information Officer for the School Construction Authority, right? And sort of my role is to run IT and to run projects for the organization and to bring about the sort of digital transformation of the SCA and to work with our external partners to continue to develop a relationship and make it easier for us to do business together. And just show a hand, how many stayed up late last night to watch the Giants beat Green Bay? Yeah? Okay, so it's a wonderful day today. Mouth closer? Okay, how's that? Okay, good, I'm done. Giants, Green Bay was the last thing I said.
Good morning. Is this working? Yeah. Good morning. It's great to be here. Good morning. I'm Jasper Alcala, Deputy Chief of Operations for the Engineering Department of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. I'm a state licensed engineer who's transitioned through operations, and I'm a sponsor of the current digital transformation program for the department.
Morning, everyone. I'm Eric Deo. I'm the Associate Commissioner for Design and Construction at New York State OGS. For those that haven't worked with OGS in the past, we are an organization of about 560 people statewide. We have a backlog of about 900 projects, a little over $4 billion worth of design, bidding, and construction work across the state for a variety of different executive agencies and authorities. We do work for about 50 of them. We also do our own code permitting work, like a building department would. We have about 250 or so projects in that world that's valued a little over $2.5 billion. So really, really large and really big and significant vertical construction group within New York State.
Thank you. So let's start, Manny. Being the CIO of SCA and having been someone who's sort of acquired the reputation of being on the cutting edge of technology implementations with everything that's going on, how do you see the role of AI and other newer technologies leading digital transformation, and how do you see that impacting the industry?
Sure. So the SCA itself is a forward-looking organization, and it allows us to sort of explore new technologies and continuously evolve the platforms that we use. Not that you would know this by looking at me, but I came into the industry, I was the PC guy, right? Came into the industry when PCs had just been introduced and surrounded by mainframe guys. We're at the very same inflection point today. We're looking at a change in the way that technology is applied. AI, as we've done a bunch of projects already around it, sort of proof of concepts, is about to change the way that we do business. And we're very excited about the different ways that we're going to be able to apply that technology to all the things that we do. We want to see AI become the assistant to the person who works on projects, who works in finance, who works anywhere in the SCA, to make us much, much better at what we do, right? And that's how we see it. We look at, we're doing some projects in the space where we're looking at envelopes of the buildings and looking at the video and then transforming that into statements of work of what is wrong and what needs to be done. We're looking at conversational discussions with our documents. And with all of those closeout documents that we transmit over to the school to help custodians and help people who are maintaining those buildings to get the answers that they need about the systems that are put into their environments. But we want to go way past that. We want the AIs to begin to assist us in delivering the projects.
Thank you. Jaspal, Port Authority, specifically engineering department, has just started on this digital transformation journey and doing a lot of work in that space. Can you give some insights into where you are in the whole journey and some of the challenges that you as an organization are facing as you go through this journey?
Thank you. So digital transformation, for the program, the key thing is understanding what it is and what benefits we intend to yield from it. When implementing any new tool or application, especially for a large department, there's a potential that you're going to encounter possible silos or resistance to change. So as part of the digital transformation program, it was important to identify advocates early on, delegate these into transformation champions. These champions will help convey the vision and the mission of the program and share the fact that this is a journey and what you put in will enable you to get what you want out of this. It was important as well with these champions to represent the department and have influence as well, help with empowering individuals in the department to get on board. And that's really how the program, that's what leads to the continuous success of the program, is having those champions help drive it.
Thank you. Eric, OGS just came out with the strategic plan. Can you provide a little bit more insight into how that strategic plan is going to shape the future of your organization and what role is digital transformation going to play in that future?
Sure, thanks, Mahinder. The OGS, in August, OGS put out its strategic plan under Commissioner Moy. We've actually, within Design and Construction Group, just rolled out our own kind of augment to that, which is specific to our Design and Construction Group. And really, for us, there are kind of three main components to what we're doing within that strategic plan. One is we're reinvesting in ourselves and our people. As an organization, I think everyone kind of falls into this trap a little bit. We get very focused outwardly on the work that we do for our clients and for our customers, and sometimes we're not self-reflective and looking back at the things we need to do for our own people. So that's a big part of our strategic plan and our initiatives, is to really focus on our staff, investing in our folks that are working on our team, and then really transforming the technology that we have available to us. We're really at the onset of changing our very antiquated project management software system, which was homegrown. It's about 20 years old. I liken it to Fort Knox. Like, everything can go into it pretty easy, but it's really hard to get stuff out. And with the portfolio work that we have, it's really important that we have better visibility into our projects. To Jaspal's point, it's very easy to get siloed in an organization that's got 5 different divisions and with people cast across the entire state. We want to make sure everyone is really connected to the work we do. And really importantly is that there's transparency. It's a foundation within the OGS strategic plan that we're transparent with our customers, and there's better visibility into the work that's happening, both for the project team and the customer that we're working for. It's highly important for them to see spending on their projects, that we're advancing the work in a meaningful way, and that there's really no surprises along the way. So we're at the cusp of really advancing through that transformation of our project management system. We also are extensive users of Primavera P6. We're, I think, the second biggest user in the country of P6. We use it on every single construction project that we have on the market right now. So that gives us a pretty deep amount of visibility into schedule and where things are moving. And with the connectedness with our project management software and that scheduling software in P6, it's going to really help us have better visibility into the work.
Thank you. Manny, you've just gone through a very complex implementation for a project management system, and now you're embarking on another complex ERP system implementation. What are some of the things that you would suggest that people need to look at to prepare themselves and prepare for these complex implementations?
Find a new job when you, just kidding. The two systems, so we've replaced our construction management system because it was sort of time, right? And now we're about to replace our financial system. And simply these two systems had run their course, and it was time that the technology has sort of changed. And so when doing these types of very large projects, I would suggest a couple of things. First is make sure that you have the culture, especially at the top of the organization, to want to do this. They are your partner. They're the ones driving you to bring this change. The second thing is that you're going to build a new application that is unlike what you had before. And that change is what's going to cause the stress amongst the people who are going to be using it, which means a tremendous amount of investment in training of all of those folks so that they understand their new role in the application. Not just internal, but partners on the outside. We train thousands of people to use these applications. And you always get the same thing. We hated the old system. You brought us something new. We hate the new system. This is what we use to manage our projects. And we're talking hundreds of active projects, right? So you have to get the right kind of culture, communications, and help people to make the transition to what's new. And when building the new solutions, it's very important that you're going to build in, like for instance, our old system had no workflows. New system is all about workflows, right? And you have to make sure that everyone is prepared for that and that you're seeing the results. The second thing is that we chose to go on to applications which were platforms rather than straightforward applications, which what we used to purchase previously. We wanted the max flexibility to say, here's the functionality that we need, but we need it delivered to us in a specific way and be able to make those changes without impacting the baseline application. It's created a system where we're very agile in delivering change. If something doesn't work, we're able to go in there and make changes to it, and to deliver the data and the output to our decision makers in ways that they really couldn't see before. The transparency, for instance, around things like where's a payment, who's got it right now, right, in the approvals process, is something that we always had difficulty with before because it used to travel half on paper, now it's all digital, right? So we are seeing improvements in speed and visibility in the way that we handle transactions. As we go into the financial system, one of the things that we had said is, so we've sort of put governance around project delivery. And we told the business, you get 1 year to deliver the application. We don't want fatigue. You know your business. We want agile methodology, right? And we want 1 year of your life to deploy a brand new application. And after deployment, then we'll have cleanup forever, which is what we do, right? And we keep enhancing. But we want agility and speed because once you transcend a year, 18 months, things start to drag down. The business changes, the rules change, and then you end up with a lot of rework. So it's speed and agility to deliver the end product and then to begin using it and then to continuously improve the way that you're delivering your services to the business.
Thank you. Joshpal, out of all the three panelists here, you are at a unique situation where you guys have just started the journey and you're already seeing some impacts of digital transformation on the organization. Can you share some success stories, things that have actually helped from an operational standpoint as you just embarked on this journey?
Sure. So just a few examples. We rolled out visual tools. These are dashboard self-sustaining dynamic reporting tools. So this pulls data from multiple systems into the one view. This makes information pertinent project information readily accessible, helps also with the collaboration of the project stakeholders around that one platform. We've rolled out automation as well. We did start using Python for machine learning, but bots to eliminate manual workflows and repetitive tasks. In addition to that as well, we rolled out a project portal, a one-stop shop for each specific project where stakeholders can go in and grab the documents or data related to the projects. Mobile data collection is a big one. So staff in the field can collect data on their tablets in real time, and it's centralized in the department for further uses. A key thing also was centralizing our data so that we had the single source of truth, in addition to also identifying what we call the golden thread. So that's information for a project that transcends the entire, all the stages of the life cycle from beginning to end.
Thank you. Eric, looking ahead, from your standpoint, future technologies that will influence your organization, specific to design and construction, that you're already looking into or thinking through?
Sure. Yeah, I think this is a really exciting time in our business right now. There's, being a part of a state agency, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I always feel like I'm catching up to technology. It moves so fast, and frankly, our bureaucracy and our procurement sometimes take a lot longer than we'd like them to be. But it's a really exciting time. So, between the use of drone technologies to try to automate inspections, AI, and how that can really kind of augment and really give us more power and resources and really streamline the efforts that we make. We're starting to look really hard at how we use BIM, 3D modeling, and virtual design and construction, and really looking at how we can kind of connect the models to the work that actually happens in the field, right? So monitoring what's happening, having kind of the digital twin, along with connecting it with schedules and having kind of the 3D, 4D, and ultimately 5D type of models and systems out there. We're making pretty heavy investments in that kind of research and trying to find ways to integrate that into our business. Again, it's a really exciting time. I think that the ability to use those models in a meaningful way is important. There's a lot of trends, obviously, in the energy and sustainability world, which are going to drive differences in how building systems are built and constructed. And I think there's going to have to be a kind of a complementary investment in. One of the other panels was talking about the operators, and I think we can all design and construct the best buildings out there, but if we don't have operators that are equally competent from the standpoint of managing really complex systems, all that's for naught, right? We need to make sure that the system they're intended to be life cycle designs. They really need to be life cycle management, and we have to make sure we're investing in those folks too to make that transformation.
Awesome. With digital transformation, the one thing that keeps coming up is data and the quality of data and the improvement in the integrity and quality of the data. Manny, from your standpoint, how are you using the data that you're getting now from this enhanced system deployment, and how are you using for analytics and predictive analytics, or generally what's your use cases around data?
So let me just take one step back in deployment, right? The real challenge in deploying new technology is when you have demands on bringing the old data into your new construct, right? Old data is old data that existed in that system. It gave you certain information. You try to put that data into an application that has different processes. It creates the real challenges for you and hurts your projects. We have had to, so we're shifting a lot of our skills. We have really increased the number of people who are doing reporting, who are building dashboards, who are delivering insights into all of these great transactional systems that used to be systems of record. And so we're able to deliver that to our executives and to the folks down who are actually implementing the projects on the ground. And that is a difference, that we used to collect the data to be used later on for different things. Now we're using it in real time, right? Where are we on projects? What's happening? Where do we need to work to improve on a particular projects? And more importantly, with our volume, which projects are in trouble, right? Where are we not gonna deliver on time? Because as you know, the kiddies are gonna show up, we gotta open the door, right? We gotta make sure that those projects are finished and they're gonna go. We're gonna open 24 buildings in 2024. Actually, I think it's now up to 27. So there's a tremendous amount of insight that we need into what's happening on those individual projects. Next week, we're doing a training class for 45 individuals at the SCA that we sent out an invitation to last week. And it's a training class, it's actually a workshop on how to build a conversational AI app. Real quick thing, it's about 5 hours. None of the people in that class are in IT. We invited the managers of the business to come in and learn what can you get from these tools to begin the mindset of change and begin the mindset of how do we leverage these tools to do our jobs better. And it's important to drive that understanding into the business, into the folks who are actually doing the work, because this is gonna set you up for a future as these tools become more available, as they start to impact the way that you manage the asset and the future of the asset.
Thank you. An often overlooked aspect of technology and digital transformation is the people impact, and Manny, you touched upon that a little bit. Jaswal, I wanted to ask you, how are you preparing for transition from a people standpoint, and how are you making the people of your organization a part of this journey and be vested in this?
Thank you. As I said initially, the digital transformation program, it's a journey. It's a journey of continuous improvement. Communication and engagement is still key, like with any program. So we host workshops, and these have been workshops across different levels to ensure that we are engaging, not just with the champions, but also the new converts. We've had these workshops, and we do get aha moments even later in the game, but that's fine. You know, that's as long as we get converts, that's the main thing. So again, this is ensuring that the message, the vision is still being conveyed. In addition to that as well, we host what we call knowledge bar sessions. These are really showcasing the successful delivery of projects under the program, what benefits have been yielded, who it's impacted, to further highlight the need for the program and the successes for it. This in turn also helps with engagement. And in addition to this, getting feedback from staff, we are empowering staff also to further staff to come on board with the program and help identify new efficiencies, or just be involved as new champions as well. So again, it's still an ongoing journey, but the key thing is engagement and communication.
Eric, I know because we've helped you with communication planning and change management. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how are you preparing your workforce, especially workforce that's a little on the traditional side of the business, and for them to learn a new system and getting to learn new skills? How are you going about preparing that workforce for that transition?
Sure, I think it's somewhat similar to what's already been described, but change is hard, right? I mean, it's a challenging thing for staff to take on something new, and when it goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong, and it takes years to recover it. We rolled out really. I've been with OGS for about 8.5 years, and when I first started, we were rolling out P6 across all of our construction projects, and it was. I'll say forced entry, right? So it was something where we were pushing that from the top down. There really was limited buy-in from our staff and limited engagement in the conversation about the context and why it mattered, and really having a good conversation about it. And when that top-down push happened, we really lost people. They lost motivation. We have all of our construction vendors are ultimately in that system, putting in their work plans, putting in their schedules, keeping projects up to date. And we had tremendous pushback, which in some cases we're still trying to counter. So we're trying to do our current rollouts, including all of our initiatives within our strategic plan, which are obviously changes as well, through a really thoughtful change management approach, really communicating with people, giving people context about why what they're doing matters, how it ties in with other parts of our business so that they understand, how their part helps the rest, and really communicating from a really high level to make sure everyone understands every step along the way and why it matters. So we're trying to engage folks. I think our previous kind of failures with the rollout of P6 initially were just a lack of communication, a lack of involvement. We're really trying to get staff at all levels to get engaged in our process and keep the conversation evergreen about what we're doing, why it matters, and how they can connect to it.
Thank you. I wanted to come back to you, Manny, because we were, before we started the panel, we were talking about AI and some AI use cases, and you brought up a very interesting one around digital project management. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So as we start to look at this technology, we have to sort of think forward a couple of years, right? And I believe that the AI tools, we're running RPA now for about 4 years. We've been running these tools for a while now. We want to make our workforce smarter and more efficient. And we want AI to stand beside our projects officer, for instance. And if a project officer has 10 CIP projects that they're doing, how is he ever going to keep track of every single detail? We want the AI to help them through those details. Where are the closeout documents? Where are we in the payments, right? Where are we on the inspections? What were the deficiencies from the inspections, right? We want AI to help. AI can send those emails, the reminders, why haven't you submitted yet? I have a small brain, so how can we get there, right? To help our folks to enjoy their jobs more by not having to focus on these things that are just laborious, right? That's what we're looking for. We want to improve people's satisfactions with their job, to have the engineer to do the work that we hired them to do, or the project manager, right? Recently, we deployed a bot, Scorpio, right, as opposed to Luna. But Scorpio's job is to, at the initiation of a project, go out and collect all the documents about that facility and put it together and get it ready for the engineer to then go in and put more information about scope. Well, that was 10 hours of work on every single project, times 500 projects a year, that engineer does not have to spend doing a little bit of drudge work in gathering, but instead can look over the materials, say, yeah, this is what we need, and then put in their sort of the real work that they need to do in the scoping. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to become assistive of the people who are doing the work, to make their job more enjoyable, and to help them get all of that work done in order to keep us moving forward.
Thank you. With that, we are at time, so I want to thank the three of you for taking the time and really helping us understand digital transformation within your organizations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.